Let's open our minds and our hearts. Dear soul travelers, let's open our minds and our hearts to receive fully the inflow of your love and wisdom, O Spirit. And teach our hearts to pray, teach our souls to feel that at any moment your presence be revealed. We know that this is so. And let's visualize our inner temple, the temple where the divine indweller, the immortal soul, dwells in this physical body, which is just a cluster of sensations. There's nothing solid about this body at all. It's just a consciousness in the great dreamer's mind on having form when the truth is we're formless. But let's visualize that we're getting some early Christmas gifts this morning. And those chakras of ours are lighting up one by one like a Christmas tree, a divine Christmas tree. And we'll sing Yogananda's little chant, "Who's in my temple?" But more importantly than that, let's just really, really, really thank him in advance and in the moment and for future for the gifts of our souls awakening and the awakening of all this divine consciousness within us in the chakras. Who is in my temple? Who is in my temple? All the doors do open themselves. All the lights do light themselves. All the doors do open themselves. All the lights do light themselves. Darkness like a dark bird flies away, oh, flies away. Darkness like a dark bird flies away, oh, flies away. Who is in my temple? Who is in my temple? All the doors do open themselves. All the lights do light themselves. All the doors do open themselves. All the lights do light themselves. Darkness like a dark bird flies away, flies away. Darkness like a dark bird flies away, flies away. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your heart door flung wide open. Keep your mind just so cloistered in that beautiful heart of love and ever increasing devotion for the one. As I read you some words from Paramahansa Ji to get started this morning before we jump into verse 5, with a little small recap of the other verses 3 and 4 before we get into 5. But this is what he says in one of his SRF lessons. While you are well and strong, do not spend your time on foolishness. God understands everything. He knows he has sent us to this terrible place. He grieves in his heart at our sufferings. Nothing hurts him more than to see us grovel in the mud of delusion. He wants us to come back home. And to those who make the effort to know him, he responds. And this is a quote from the GITA. From sheer compassion, the Lord says, I, the divine indweller, also known as your soul, set a light in them, the radiant lamp of wisdom. Feel that golden touch right now. Feel the glow of that light of wisdom in your heart center And your mind is so quiet, it's not thinking about this. It's just cloistered, it's surrendered to this heart of love, this heart of devotion, this heart of really, really feeling this divine presence with us right now. And feel this radiant laugh of wisdom, which will banish the darkness that is born of ignorance. By sheer compassion, I, the divine indweller, set a light in all those who are asking the right questions, who are really in earnest about waking up, who really do and are really sincere about loving the one more and more each day. He sets a light in us, the radiant lamp of wisdom, which banishes the darkness that is born of ignorance. He goes on to say, the whole creation was designed as a test for man and woman. By our conduct in this world, we disclose whether we want the Lord or his gifts. Now, this is really important to our lessons coming up, our verses coming up around how to prepare for this thing called transition, called death. By our conduct in this world, we disclose whether we want the Lord or his gifts. God will not tell you that you should desire him above all else. No, but his servants do. Such a one as Paramahansa Yogananda will say that it's a wise thing to, take all your longings and yearnings for the outward and channel it to the inward. Use those logs, those wanting some kind of outward thrill or experience. Use those logs as long burning logs for your heart's desire for the one. To love only the one. By our conduct in this world, we disclose whether we want the Lord or his gifts. God will not tell you that you should desire him above all else, because he wants your love to be freely given without prompting. That is the whole secret in the game of this universe. All right, rewind. What is the secret in this game of the universe? What is the one secret? You want a free pass to happiness? What is it? He wants your love to be freely given without prompting. That is the whole secret in the game of this universe. He who created us yearns for our love. He wants us to give it spontaneously without his asking. Our love is the one thing God does not possess unless we choose to bestow it. So you see, even the Lord has something to attain, our love, and we shall never be happy until we give it. So long as we are wayward children, pygmies, crawling on this ball of earth and crying for his gifts while we ignore him, the giver, we fall into many pits of misery. Dilly, dilly. Many pits of misery. Dilly, dilly. And so a quote from Yogananda that I'll sing. This is an exact quote. The sole gift a human being may present to the infinite giver, to the infinite giver, is love. Love is love. Love. The sole gift is love. The sole gift is love. To bestow that gift on God, or miserly to withhold it, is man's only sovereign power. Is man's only sovereign power. All else already belongs to the maker of heaven and earth. All else already belongs To the maker of heaven and earth. To the maker of heaven and earth, to the maker of heaven and earth, to the maker of heaven and earth. The soul gift is love. Immortal souls, pure images of blissful spirit, were sent on earth garbed in earthly bodies to test their immortality. They were endowed with reason to see through the tricks of the physical senses, and they were given willpower so that they could fight temptation. But some, through misuse of reason and will, eclipsed their spirit image and their innate equality. They created differences among themselves as variously developed or undeveloped egos according to their own choices and their earthly surroundings. These are those immortals who neglect to turn their searchlights of will, reason, intuition, and meditation within to behold the priceless kingdom of peace, began to develop mortal desires during their temporary stay in the slums of material existence on this little earth clot. They forgot their omnipresent kingdom. Their consciousness became bounded by their circumference of the body. O souls, deluded immortals, if you remain mired in the sloughs of worldly life, or if you try to renounce earthly desires merely by flying into the jungle, you have not passed the examination needed to graduate from this mortal school. You are brave sons and daughters of God. You must act as such. Being addicted to earthly smallness, you have forgotten your native bigness. By deep and repeated meditation, you must constantly keep sight of your real vast kingdom of omnipresent bliss. Keep your eyes on the prize of your real vast kingdom of omnipresent bliss. And with the divine attitude born of remembrance of what you are and what you have, you must enjoy your earthly life with perfect nonchalance and non-attachment. Friends or enemies, money or lack, health or sickness, life or death, no matter what comes, you must make them entertain your unshaken, ever-joyous consciousness of God within. When you cannot be weakened or cowed down no matter what comes, but are able to enjoy it or at least endure it with unruffled equanimity, conscious of your immortality, then your Father says, ye children of immortality, ye princes and princesses of peace, my royal children souls, verily, you have behaved as true sons and daughters in this earthly playhouse of my magic dreams. There I gave you opportunities to be powerful, unconquerable, and you have successfully undergone my training. Now come back home. Live in my bosom in perfection and help to work out my perfect ideations in this, my home of universe. Or if it is your will to go back to Earth or elsewhere on different grades of planets where different classes of evolving immortal human children dwell, be it so. My victorious children's souls can remain with me forever or go to Earth and other planets to bring prodigal souls back to my mansion of everlasting happiness. Oh, life is sweet and death a dream. Oh, life is sweet and death a dream. When thy song flows through me, my Lord. When thy song flows through me, then health is sweet, sickness a dream. Then health is sweet, sickness a dream. When thy song flows through me, my Lord. When thy song flows through me, then life is sweet and death a dream. Then life is sweet and death a dream. when thy song flows through me, my Lord, when thy song flows through me. Be in this temple of yours, the temple of the soul. All God you are, perfect image of immortality, of bliss consciousness, of joy, ever new, of peace that surpasseth all understanding, of wisdom that keeps a fire, of logs kindling, of your mortal desires, unsettledness, dissatisfactions, disillusionments, they burn with one pure heart's desire. I give you my heart, my Lord. I give you my heart. I give you my mind. I give you my soul. I give you my strength. I give you my body. I give you my prized possessions. I give you my attachment. I give you everything, for it's never been mine. It's always been yours. And so that is what is. And so it is. All right. Let's be inside this temple as we listen to more wisdom food, wisdom nourishment, wisdom fire kindling, so that we live with a beautiful right attitude, right? The right attitude that I only am focused now on the truth, nothing but the truth. So help us, beloved God. And we do need your help. We need it right here, right now, as we open our hearts and minds to receive the full inflow of your love and wisdom, your light and joy, your loving presence, and that total assurance that thou and us are never apart. So, a little tiny recap to verses 3 and 4 of chapter 8 of God Talks to Arjuna, volume 2, Paramahansa Yogananda's commentary. He says, in the macrocosms and microcosms, so we have the physical microcosm and the physical macrocosm universe. We have the astral micro of energy and light within us, and we have the universe, the astral universe of light and energy, and we have the causal universe, the consciousness within us, right here at the crown chakra, the consciousness center, and we have the macro universe of cause, the pure cause, spirit, true creator, causing this physical manifestation. Those are the macrocosms and microcosms, and in those, the Lord is truly the one indweller. The one, just the one. This is all, it's so simple. We have one purpose. We have one heart's desire. We have one game plan, so to speak. We have just one thing to default back to. It's the same thing we live in the present moment of, and it is the future everlasting. It is God's presence, full blown, right here and now. The bliss ongoing, right here and now. Just the one. In the gross material universe, then, while we're here in this duality dream delusion plane, the slums of matter, I think Yogananda likes to call it, the slums of matter, right? In this gross material universe, the manifestation of spirit has to be inferred, meaning it has to kind of be like reasoning, like you hear it from the holy ones that this is the way it is, but you have no direct perception of it. It's inferred here. And I think the definition that I love the most, called faith. So another way to say this is that, boy, we need fearless faith in this material universe. The microcosm of us being in this physical form when really we're not a form at all, and this outer physical universe, which seems to be like, let's discover things in the universe and go on and on and on, right? We need one thing: fearless faith. And here's the definition, is my favorite. Faith is the assurance of things hoped for. You hope for more peace today, don't you? Yeah, I mean, it's important that you hope. It's important that you want it. Top priority, first top priority is wanting more presence, wanting to rest in peace today, wanting to feel love in your heart, right? So faith is the assurance of things hoped for or really wanting, perceiving as real fact what is not revealed to the senses. So while you are having hope here and faith here, that what the holy ones, the wisdom is saying, what Krishna is saying, Christ is saying, the Bible is saying, what the great ones, the ones who are awake and ready, are saying, we need to have an assurance of these things, right? And perceiving as real fact those things we have faith on, as real fact, not just a wish, not just a maybe it's true, but a total conviction that it is so. All those things that are not seen, heard, understood, maybe, or revealed to the senses. That's this plane where we are. That's needed. It's inferred. Spirit is inferred here. Now, let's get into our body of light, and then in the macrocosm of light and energy, right? What is needed there? Yogananda says, in the astral universe of vibratory life, the manifestation of spirit has to be felt. So on this plane, earth plane, duality, dream, delusion plane, it is inferred. So we need fearless faith. The hope of those things, the hope and the faith that what the wisdom is telling us, what our soul is guiding us, the intuition, all that stuff. We need to totally have the faith in that. And then in our next body of energy and light, you all love energy and light. What brings a a light bulb goes off, you feel better, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, you're lighthearted, you're not taking this seriously, everything is joyous, everything is just the way it's supposed to be, right? And you radically accept, embrace, and love what is. That kind of thing has to be felt. May thy love be done. May thy love be done. May thy love be done through me, Lord. May your love be done. I feel your love. I feel your love. I feel your love within me. I feel your love. I feel your love. I feel your love. So we want more good energy. You want energy that heals you. You want energy that you have so you can be sharp as a tack today, right on point today, because you have an abundance of good Shakti cosmic energy today. We need to feel it and practice feeling it. May thy joy be done. May thy will be done. May thy joy be done. May thy joy be done through me, Lord. May your joy be done. I feel your joy. I feel your joy. I feel your joy within. It's feeling. Feel it. Feel it. You ought to really believe it, right? Have fearless faith on it. Then you feel it with that same faith. Still maybe no experience. And finally, in the causal universe of ideational consciousness, in your consciousness, in your head, in your mind right now, the manifestation of spirit is known through intuitive perception, which only comes when you are still focused on the one in meditation. No movement, no desires for the world, no nothing, just resting, rejuvenating, relaxing in the silence. And when the calm lake of your mind is absolutely still, and then out of that silence will loom, out of that stillness will loom the loving presence. Bang. right with you. Beloved, I am here. I am here. So I thought that's a nice warm up for now. This final question that Arjuna had to Krishna, way back in the earlier verses in this chapter 8. We start questioning, well, who are you? What is the universe? What is all that? Now his other question was, what is that discipline needed, that when you're at death, we are in communion with you, Lord? What is that? Tell us about it. So that's verse 5. Y'all ready for this? Lastly, he enters my being who thinks only of me at his hour of passing. She only thinks of me at her hour of passing, when the body is abandoned. He enters my being who thinks only of me at the hour of his passing, when the body is abandoned. This is truth beyond doubt. I had a love, before I move on with that commentary, just one more little thing from another lesson, because we're talking about how it's so important in our astral bodies and the astral universe, as we expand out to get deeper into the quiet, still, intuitive perception of our causal body. This is what Yogananda says in another place in one of his lessons. He says, the Lord says, and this is a quote, this is the Lord speaking, I am like a fragrant flame which cannot stand the breath of restlessness. The breath of restlessness extinguishes me. And listen what happens. Why you say divine indwellers in you? This is what happens when we're restless, when the mind jumps, when we're thinking outward, just like that. The breath of restlessness extinguishes me, and I fly to my home in omnipresence. You wonder why you don't feel the divine indwelling. We're restless. We have to be so relaxed and still and calm and focused and devoted. Good training, great training. Then this is what I love. This is important to remember. Because you feel from your heart center, right? You feel in your heart. It's the center of emotion. And when the emotion is transmuted, so to speak, when you are channeling inward in focusing in the way that we're taught as yogis, on the one divine presence within and all around, here's what happens. But when in the calm temple of the heart, the calm temple of the heart, who is in my temple? All the doors and lights are opening up. Everything is perfectly peaceful. When in the calm temple of heart there are no storms blowing, then the divine indweller says, I glow in your heart like a gentle flame. Think of your heart as a temple of perfect peace, of perfect calm, of perfect bliss. That's what's there. You don't have to believe that there's something else there, even though you believe it, even though that you feel it, as an emotion, as energy, as emotion. This is something that's keeping you in motion. It means it's keeping you restless. Nothing doesn't feel right, right? But when there is that devotion, emotion turned devotion is the magic potion. So jump right on this love train. You won't feel no pain. We're going home, not stopping at go. We're on a roll. We want that calm, trusting, fearless heart of devotion. Then we feel that divine indweller as a glow in our heart, like a gentle flame. I bring all this up prior to these verses on how to prepare for death, how to be ready in transition for that moment when it comes, because all that we just talked about is is our training practices. It's our training practices. Not waiting for, when we're really, really down and out in Beverly Hills, but really today's training is this. It's our whole life is a preparation for our final transition. You'll hear Yogananda's words coming right up. Good morning, Brooke. God bless you, dear soul sister. And I think the Clarks are on too. God bless you, Clarks, because he is constantly. This is Yogananda's commentary now. We're on page 719, verse 5, chapter 8. Krishna now begins his answer to the final question posed by Arjuna in verse 2. How at the time of death art thou, the Lord, to be known by the self-discipline? How at the time of death are we to know you, Lord? We've been trying to be self-disciplined. We've been trying to bring ourselves in under just from the many things that we are occupying, just cluttering our brain and creating such a stir of emotion in our heart, all kinds of emotion. We're trying to bring it all into one calm, beautiful, single-hearted, single-minded focus. We're trying. A yogi who practices meditation throughout life is able to commune with God at any time. I bet you if you really give yourself the benefit of the doubt, which is highly advised, that you can think of with God and go into a happy place, your happy place with that relationship you have with the divine now, anywhere, anytime, at will. Check it out. And if you're kind of maybe doubting that a little bit, no doubt, give yourself the benefit of the doubt. If you want to think of the Lord, you think of the Lord. And it's not just thinking, you're giving him your love, because it's the only thing he doesn't have. He doesn't want your thoughts. He doesn't want to know how smart you are. He doesn't care about anything else. He just give him his love, and then he'll give you everything in return. Everything. Give him the sole gift that you can give, the only thing that will really work, that will really bring you the happiness that you seek and the satisfaction that you seek. The real satisfaction is to give the Lord your pure love. Because God is always watching your heart, babe. Always watching your heart. So find out what's going on in your heart right now. Find out what's going on in your heart right now. Find out what's going on in your heart of hearts. Find out what's going on in your heart of hearts right now. Why I call this stream, God is always watching your heart. It's so important. What's in here? Huh? What's in here? Motives? Oh, motives, everything. And what is your heart wanting to do right now? That's everything. So a yogi who practices meditation throughout life is able to commune with God at any time, especially the crucial time of death. And we practice dying with every exhale breath, relax, let go, surrender. There's a whole universe that is behind you right now. There's just an infinite supply of cosmic energy to heal you. There's so much love. You wouldn't be able to even take a little drop of it, but you could, because you'd then have another sip after that one, and after that one, pretty soon you're a guzzler of divine love, right? A man and woman's thoughts at the last moments of his and her life determine her status in the hereafter. But just stop in the name of love, anytime, anywhere. Search your heart. Get down. Find out what the heck it's doing. It's all caught up in a bunch of nonsense again, right? In this ongoing saga series of lifetimes of being, not feeling so good in your heart. And find out if you can muster up through your fearless faith and trust and the accruing of good karma points for your devotion whenever you're able to say, Lord, I love you. I love you first with all my strength, mind, heart, and soul. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you, right? That's what we want to practice. That cuts right to the quick, right there. There we are again. Bhakti yogis. and yoginis. Comes down to that one thing in your heart. Love for you, Lord. Love for you, oh happiness. Love for you, oh divine mother. Love for you, oh my soul. A true yogi and yogini finishes the dream actings of his or her role in life and makes her and his final exit from the earthly stage. Her and his mind fixed only on the bliss of spirit and her heart untainted by any mundane longings. Remember that flame of God's love, that presence, that divine indweller has to fly back into the omnipresence if there's a stir, if your mind is even like kind of just partially, partially on the meditation, but mostly somewhere else. All of us now, come on, all of you, meaning all of what you call you, all of this beingness here, it's just a cluster of sensations, says yoga. A cluster of sensations is this body form. That's it, man. So we're certainly not those sensations, are we? Talk about fleeting and false. All right, so then Yogananda goes on in this commentary to verse 5. After death, a devotee is not required by karmic law to return to earth. Here's a big if. You're not required to return back to the schoolhouse. If, number one, during your lifetime, you had been able, through yoga practice, to disconnect your life force and consciousness from the body. Hey, listen, if you go inside and you are with a couple breaths, for starters, and your heart is into it, that you could expose to the universe on the big screen, everyone can see it, your motive, what's in their heart. What is your intention? What is your motive? This big courthouse of a universal screen, the big play. Let's review the play. Let's see. There's a flag thrown on the field. Let's see if there was a penalty, And if you could do that, and you can come into this moment where you are truly in a breath of love, truly in a place of complete letting go, surrender, relaxing, and then pouring out to the divine only that one thing that he wants and she wants more than anything else all the time, your love. Bang. You can say you are disconnecting your life force and consciousness from the body in that given moment, or those breaths, maybe longer periods now, where you are really just right there, right on your A game, right on it, right? As you do anything and everything, steady Eddie, steadying your consciousness in your heart of love. And number two, if you have been successful at will in entering the conscious, breathless state. All right, you may not be conscious of going breathless, because as soon as you get close to really quieting down and still, then all of a sudden the thoughts go, oh, I'm getting quieter and still. And then boom, the restlessness catches you again. And there flies the omnipresent, infinite beloved. The divine indweller has to go back into its omnipresence then, because it can't take the restlessness. So, but listen, that moment where you're giving your pure heart's love to the divine, he takes your breath away. If you're really deep, my dears, don't analyze it. If you're really deep and sincere around the one priority, the only priority, there's just the one priority for the one, and that's unceasing love, right? If you're there, I would say that you can enter the number two, you check it off. You can enter the breathless state at will. Good job. Number three, you're able to maintain life in the body by drawing a supply of cosmic energy from God, pouring through the medulla oblongata. We take big gulps, big gulps. We get that large thing, that large big gulper of cosmic energy pouring in through here. O eternal youth of body and mind, abide within me forever and forever. Cosmic energy, divine mother pouring it in through her own. That's how I like to visualize it. She's just this beautiful goddess, the mother, Om, Om, Om. She's just pouring in this cosmic energy. Enough energy to heal you instantaneously, enough energy to just pick your spirits up so there's no more gloom and doom, and you're just flying high because you are made of that pure crystalline, no contaminants, no fillers, no additives, right? No GMOs. You just have the pure energy of spirit pouring through this medulla oblongata. All you got to do is be ready, willing, and able to receive it, and have the right gatekeeper at this floodgate. If you open up the gates of this medulla and be open and receptive to the cosmic energy and want it more than anything else, and you could just be there and start loving that energy, bang, you can check that one off. You can maintain life in the body by drawing a supply of cosmic energy. And if you have been non-attached to the body and to sense objects, same principles we're using here in all these points. You're deep. You're in a moment with God. That moment is eternity. End of game. Check it off. You are able to be non-attached to the body and the sense object, even if it's for a split second, man. That split second is eternity. That opens the portal right there. It's so accessible, right? God's just asking, would you please just run through that portal? Come as fast as you can to my loving presence. Don't look back. Don't think about this earth anymore. It's a toy show. Stop watching the toy show of this earth. And if you had no personal desires, but had remained undisturbed by egoistic wishes for any person or object or sense enjoyment. Well, if you're desiring the one love, you don't have desires for these outer things. Check it off. Done. Right? You are one of those that there's no karmic law that's going to force you to return to go through Earth's lessons again. Could be another addict to your sense pleasure proclivities, let's say, or anything else. Oh, you didn't get to do something. You weren't the person who you thought you could be. You didn't do this thing. And it was in Ripley's Believe It, what is it? First person to ever do something, and claim to fame, whatever. No, that's all burning in your fire of wisdom. You don't need to go through those things anymore at all. They are part of that pit of misery, dilly. And then finally, all of this can be summed up as knowing only the joy and love of your Creator. That's the key. Can you be happy when you don't want to be? Can you just be an addict on joy, even if you don't want to be or don't feel it? Can you be an addict on being so devoted to God that that's night and day? I love you, right? That kind of thing. And you create that vision, that soul vision. You create the intuitive perception. You feel it. You have faith in it. You feel it. And then you intuitively perceive it, because now you're going deeper beneath all of this trash talk, beneath all of your restlessness, beneath all of your wasting of time, beneath all the things that you have on your calendar, even now scheduled out for who knows what. This thing's coming up, that, right? When right here in this moment, if you could feel the presence, you wouldn't want to move a muscle ever again. You'd be totally satisfied, completely satisfied. So, such a devotee, without doubt, then, all these marks checked off, all these things that we just mentioned checked off. The devotee, without doubt, attains freedom and merges with the divine being. He and she needs no further incarnations on earth for the satisfaction of unfulfilled desires. You need no further incarnations on earth. For what reason do we come back? For the satisfaction of unfulfilled desires. I don't know if I was God, and I think he would have so much fun. If your soul's on the other side, you're going to see that you get the blueprint as you cross over. Not after you've been there for a while. You see the matrix of what was the dominant theme in your life, and the whole thing just happens, and you know exactly what you have to come back down here to learn to do. And as soon as you see that so much of it is these unsatisfiable, but you don't think so, but you need more satisfaction that you won't get from these things, just start popping across your consciousness. Bang, 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 bang. But listen, that's when the Lord should put on, I can't get no satisfaction. One of the best songs ever written for this reason. You're going to go back again? Then he plays that song. You can't get no satisfaction back then. So you're going back now. Look me in the eye. You got to keep looking me in the eye. Here, take my hand. Don't let go of my hand. Huh? Remember, I'm with you always. Remember, all I want is your love. Okay? So you have no need for further incarnations on earth for the satisfaction of unfulfilled desires, for you have rendered them all non-existent. Non-existent. You're going to be non-existent. We were told as young monks, you're a non-entity. You don't exist. I exist because I'm bliss, and I am right because I'm the light. I love, I am love. I rise above, and I love to rhyme, because I'm riding on the love line, all the way back to the divine. Okay? I exist because I'm bliss. I don't exist for the reasons that my mind's going to give me at all, and that your mind's going to give you at all. You are right because you're the light. You rise above because of love's compassion for you and amazing grace for you. And you love to rhyme because you're riding on the love line all the way back to the divine. A self-disciplined yogi and yogini who has trained her mind to be detached at will from the sensory world and to unite. So you detach because of your devotion. And then you detach from the world, but that isn't the goal of this. It's to unite that emancipated mind. It's to take that freed up mind and freed up energy and lightheartedness and unite that emancipated mind with the Lord. With the Lord. Because you control your mind now. And now you keep it attuned to the Lord. And you think of nothing but him at the time of death. You think of nothing but him in today's hours left of you being alive in this physical form, which is a complete hoax, a complete sham, not even real, right? You want to think only of him. We do it today. We do it right now. Or our choices are very, very simple right now. We choose to give you our love, Lord, because we've wasted so many lifetimes, took us so long, so many trips to the dilly pit of misery, right? To learn that we forget you, it's miserable. So we're done. We're done. We're happy escapees now, escaping this prison house of our own making. According to the law of karma, that man or woman has automatically created the cause that must manifest as the effect of God attainment. Right? If no longer do you even have a thought of this world, and all you do think about then is keeping that mind on the divine, yeah, there's no reason to how you could not be in the highest state conceivable at the end of your life. He who in life avoided all inharmony, here's another tip for you, all inharmony. That's why it's probably more important, the three words, even more important than I love you, is maybe you're right. So you can keep the harmony. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to be right, ever. Keep the harmony. And that's on many, many, many levels. Your wisdom teachers, your spirit guides are going to give you the discrimination to know what are things that are really, I mean, most things are inharmonious for us to be involved in. So he or she who in life avoid all inharmony and who are accustomed to being absorbed in yoga ecstasy remains after death in the same state of divine union. All right. Don't mind my little doodle. Someone's at the door and Trish isn't home to quiet him down. Will you give me a chance to just, but just go within, take some God ecstasy breaths and just be in this pure moment of giving love to the divine and receiving that. I'll be right back. Come on. In you go. Come on. Let's go. Hey, my babies. They're my good girls. You're my good girls. You're my good girls. Come on. Come on. Here's your good girl. Okay. It's all good. All good. So, if we can avoid all inharmony, I mean, that's why Yogananda had one rule: harmony first. And we ended up with, I don't know how many rules they have now in the monastic order. Harmony first, it's everything. Be in harmony. Let this world, everyone's on their own trek, everyone's going through what they need to. Have faith. Accept, embrace, and love what is. It's all perfect. What you're going through right now, what they're going through. So there's no need to get all excited. There's no need to get into anything that's going to get someone rattled, because you're wanting to convince them of something or change, make it different than what it is. Just go with the flow, baby, and be inside. Be with the love of ages. You don't need to be involved here. On the contrary, you need to be completely absorbed in the one who is the only one. So be absorbed in yoga ecstasy, and then no matter where you go, when it's time to go, and all that, you'll be in a state of divine union. Such a yogi and yogini throughout life sees her physical form as a dream of God, a cluster of sensations that we are dreaming about is something that, we're have a serious addiction just focusing on the body. Can you imagine how small of a consciousness that is? Or thinking of oneself? Phew! We're going the opposite direction. Straight up, portals open, infinity. On the left, on the right, above, beneath, inside, outside. So a yogi throughout life sees her physical form as a dream of God. When the atoms of that body dream are dispersed by death, just a cluster of sensations that aren't even yours, it's just part of this God's dreaming, you're dreaming. She wakes up in the dreamless bliss. Such a yogi that throughout life sees her physical form as a dream of God, and the atoms of that body dream are dispersed by death. She wakes up in the dreamless sleep. From this sleep, Lord, will you wake me? From this dream, will you wake me? In thee I dive, in thee I rise, in thee I dive, in thee I rise, to live forever in thee, to live forever in thee. From this sleep, Lord, will you wake me? From this dream, will you wake me? In thee I'm born, in thee I die, In thee I'm born, in thee I die, to live forever in thee, to live forever in thee. Oh, I think that's a pretty fitting, Jennifer, pretty fitting place to maybe end this stream this morning. I know I had some other readings early on, but who's in a rush when we can be so satisfied, so completely at peace in this temple of light, this temple of the soul? You can live in peace in a heaven of your own making, of your own remembering, of your own awakening. You can be at peace today in your world. And if you can be at peace within this temple, within the temple of your mind, the temple of your heart, the temple of your sensations, the temple of your choices, then you can be at peace in the big macro universes as well. Not to mention just the earth life show. That's enough. I'll tell you, that's enough. So we're going to do verse 6 next week, and I'll give you a little foretaste to what Krishna is saying to Arjuna about this question about how to the self-discipline approach this thing called death. And this verse goes like this, but we're not going to get the commentary. I'm just going to let you get a little teaser for next week. Coming attraction. O son of Kunti, Arjuna, that thought which a dying person leaves the body, that thought with which a dying person leaves the body determines through his or her long persistence in it, her next state of being, his next state of being. Be in the heart, this heart that has got this glow going, right? Because the divine indweller, by sheer compassion, is giving you the wisdom guidance, giving you everything you need to just gently move you on course. Just one course to take now, right? But your heart is calm and you feel that glow inside there, and you don't need anything else. Everything outwardly is just like, wow, it's just like a dream. You can sit back and really be entertained now because your soul is so much more real than this dream entertainment. All right. So that's what we're going to find. So just watch your thoughts, right? Watch the last thought that you have, meaning that once you're on deciding something and then your last thought that gives you that choice point, is it something other than, Lord, I give you my love right now? You might be able to capture a lot of thoughts that would have taken you off a train that's running wild, off the tracks for a crash, or you can come back and simplify your life and let God completely have you at hello, which he and she already does. Thank you so much, Mickey Light, for coming on, and you, Jennifer Fitting, and Brooke, and the Clarks, and whoever else is on the stream or who will listen to it later. Big breath. Let go. Let God. Let peace. I feel that peace. I feel that love. I feel that joy. I perceive that peace. I perceive that joy. I perceive that love. Thank you, oh Spirit. Oh, Shanti, Shanti.